Hey, it's Owen from Enwa Audio, and this week we're going to be looking at the DriveShaper by Cableguys. Cableguys are a plugin company out of Hamburg, Germany, and they've developed a style of plugin which is more a graphic interface that involves automation rather than set and forget style plugins. It's a very interesting new style that we're going to be examining today. Some of their previous plugins are the Filter Shaper, Crush Shaper, Width Shaper, Volume Shaper, Pan Shaper, and my personal favorite, the super weird Time Shaper. They're all part of the ShaperBox, which the DriveShaper comes out of. All this range of plugins are essentially like you're playing through a chaos pad, drawing an LFO to affect your signal in strange new ways, including rhythmically and texturally. And with this, you're creating something fresh and cool from what might be a standard input. It's kind of like if you played with a simplified FabFilter Satin plugin with extreme rhythmic automation. It really tears you away from a set and forget mentality. Today I'm going to be working with programmed drums. I tried playing regular drums through it, but it didn't quite sit right, so we've got Casio Beats programmed in. I'm also going to be running a synth, which is a pocket piano through it, playing both bass and lead lines. Let's have a look through the features of this thing. We've got a graphic interface for drawing our effect waveform with a whole lot of presets down here. Up here we've got tools for drawing and selection, including a pretty cool randomise feature. A graph for splitting frequencies here. You can basically use this as a high pass or low pass filter to really mess with the frequency response of the wet signal you run through this. This cool little graph with our currently selected waveform in it, plus our input and output levels. Of course, you can drive the input to make this thing get pretty wild. We've got our overall drive here. We've got our grip, which is how the distortion reacts to the quiet parts of the waveform. We've got our push, which is DC offset for asymmetrical clipping. We've got our style of waveform. We've got our accent, our tone, our mix amount. We've got our LFO mode here too. It's got beat, hertz, and pitch controls. This changes how this thing displays from bar bass to time bass to MIDI pitch, but I won't be looking at much of the MIDI stuff today. MIDI triggering. We've got LFO Smoothing, which will round out any hard waveforms you draw and stop clicks on, say, a square wave if you don't want them in there. We've got Envelope Distortion Intensity. And finally, our master mix. And let's see what this thing can do. And there we have it, the DriveShaper from Cableguys. I think the cool thing about this plugin is the way it really pushes you into a creative space where you can work with your incoming sounds in a graphic interface. Working with them in this manner brings a lot of animation to your sounds and your mixes, which is something you probably don't often think about. There's a whole lot of preset options, but you're probably going to want to draw your own graph in because it's way more fun that way. So, is the plugin worth grabbing? For about $60 Australian, you do get a plugin that essentially changes the way you work with distortion. It brings more of an automated movement to your mixes, which is something I hadn't really thought too much about before messing with this. I found it worked a lot better on electronic sources rather than, guitar, drums, etc. But maybe that's because we're used to those instruments being not so adventurous. Maybe I should start messing with those a bit more and seeing what I can do with them. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week for more stuff.